Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Look here, y'all. In prison, when certain things happen, it creates a certain result. Cause and effect, okay? Cause and effect. If a person in here gets caught with contraband, they are going to suffer the consequences of that action from the administration. Period, point blank. Now, there are those rare occasions when you're not treated or punished as harshly as you may have could have been, right? And in those situations, or let me say this before I give you the breakdown of the situation, or it's not as bad as the compound has made it out to be. Simple as that. So in those situations, the compound, the people that might be close to you are not breaking this thing down to the point to where they look at it like, well, it's not what was said. It didn't turn out to be that way. It wasn't true what they said, whatever the case may be. When you are one of the guys, and whatever that first story is that gets back to the guys about why you got put in the hole, you're going to have to deal with that. And that's what this story is about. This one guy, listen to me, y'all. He got caught up, and before you knew it, the stories were swirling. I'm talking about when I say swirling, they were swirling. And it almost cost him everything. I'm talking about they wanted to, anyway, I ain't going to even tell you what they wanted to do. You're going to have to listen to the episode. I ain't even finna do that right. So look here, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show, y'all. Check it out, y'all. Real talk. Check it out. A lot of times in the penitentiary, things going on every day. And people get caught up doing all kinds of stuff. That's just the facts. It's just the facts. Now, we got this one brother. He one of the guys. He gets caught up with a chip. Now, I know out there that probably don't mean a lot because y'all got access to all the electronics you need. You don't have to be doing anything slick. But in here, a chip is valuable. Why? Because you can put music on it or have music put on it, put porn on it, whatever, right? And that's what happened with this one guy. For the last couple of years, rumors been swirling about this guy, not because, they were on to it. It's because of his own mouth. He talked too much, and he would always create these scenarios where when he would be talking like, yeah, I saw that last night, or I was listening to that last night. And it'll make people in here think, because in here, when people, you're talking to people about certain things, you say certain things, in here, everybody's ears is in tune, like a greyhound dog. And you listen to everything that a person says, the way they say it, and how they say it. And when he said stuff like, yeah, last night, man, shoot, after lockdown, I was talking to such and such, or I was listening to such and such rap song just came out, and all this and that. So what does that say? See, if you was on the streets and you said something like that, nobody would think a second about it, right? But in here, when you say things like that, right, you're telling people what? That you have a phone or you have a chip, right? Now, I don't understand why he did all the things he did about running his mouth, but he did. So not too long ago, this individual, he gets caught with a chip. Now, I don't want you to forget that he one of the guys, but he gets caught with a chip. And it was rumored that this chip had porn on it. Don't know if it's true. Don't know if it's true. I don't run in those circles anymore, so I don't know if it's true. But what I will tell you is that the compound thought it to be true. The compound thought it to be true, y'all. So when the compound thinks it's true, well, guess what? It's true. It's true until they can verify that it's not. And because he was one of the guys, it caused a lot of things to happen. The guys started to get worried that he might say something because they took him to the hole immediately, y'all. They took him straight to the hole. And while he was in the hole, rumors started to flare. Listen to me. They were all over the place. Rumors were all over the place. He's over there talking. The chip had porn on it. He's telling on everybody. He's telling on, who put the porn on the chip. Because keep in mind, y'all, look here. Unless he actually had a phone, the only way that he could get some porn put on that chip was if somebody that works here did it. Fact. Or somebody that works here that is allowed to have a phone put it on their phone. That's the only way. Because we're not allowed access to anything, and no device in here would even do that. No device in there. I've been in the penitentiary a long time, and I know for a fact, these state computers, you can't look at that kind of stuff on it. It's not going to happen, Cap. Simple as that. So he had to have some help if that story is true. If that story is true, he had some help from somebody. Woo! Major security violation. But here's what happened. He goes to the hole. Within 48 hours, now keep in mind now, you get caught up with something like that, you go to the hole in two ways. Pending investigation, or you get a write-up off the whiz-am. Off the very top. And if you get a write-up, that means after you get the write-up, you got to go to the D-board. They're going to schedule to go to the D-board. When they schedule to go to the D-board, then you're going to be found guilty or not guilty. If you're found not guilty, you're going to be let out. If you're found guilty, you're going to be given whatever amount of days you can get. And that's usually anywhere from 5 to 30, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what his write-up history is like. If he's had other write-ups in the past, the penalty increases in days, right? But let's just say he didn't have any days. He would get 5 days at the minimum that I know of. Now, it may be different, but 5 days at the minimum. I got a little experience in that, y'all. Back in my day. You feel what I'm saying? So let's say he gets 5 days. He'd be in the hole for 5 days. And then he would get out after it's over. But in this situation, he gets out in 48 hours. Wait a minute. Now, he the folks. So what does that do? Through everybody that's involved in anything, it threw them off. Because why? This guy knows everything about everybody. He knows everything about everybody. And now everybody's spooked, nervous. What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to tell it? You think he's going to do this? You think he's going to do that? So I'm just leaning back in the cut. I'm observing, right? Because I'm always looking for a story. I'm always looking for a story to tell because I want people to understand that this life is not straight. I'm not looking for a story to tell just so I can give y'all something salacious so you can be like, oh, they crazy up in there. No, I want you to understand how sick and twisted this is so that you don't get involved in it. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the story. So everybody's spooked and nervous. So when he gets out of the hole, you hearing all kind of stuff. Man, you see that? Such got out of the hole and this is going on and that's going on. I ain't seen nobody get arrested. I ain't seen nobody get handcuffs put on them or nothing, right? Now, the day before they let him out of the hole, a few cells got shook down, right? But that don't mean he had anything to do with it. That don't necessarily mean he didn't, but you don't know that it did. And everybody assumed because some cells got shook down that he had told it. Well, didn't nobody go to the hole? Now, I'm leaning back. Now, don't get it twisted. Back in my day, I would have thought the same thing that they thought. And the reason I would have done that because I knew that I was doing something, right? And if you're doing something, your mind starts to play tricks on you. And when something goes down and somebody knows your business, probably because you've been running your mouth to them and telling them your business, you feel me? Or now don't get it twisted because you got a lot of nosy people in here that watch everything. Either way it goes, when something goes down in here and you know that you're doing dirt, you get paranoid. So when they shook these cells down, man, look, paranoia swept through the compound. They were crazy. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to think. So I'm sitting back, I'm observing. I'm like, oh my goodness, they tripping. Don't nobody know if any of this stuff is true. Why is that? Can't nobody get access to the computers? We got Blue on. We don't have access to no computers. We don't really know what's going on. All we know is what everybody's saying. Now, in the building that he got caught up in, you know, it was people in there when he got caught up, and they assumed a lot. They said he got caught with this, he got caught with that, and porn was on it. Well, the only way they would know that porn was on it if they'd been watching it, right? Right? Unless somebody told them what was on it. So anyway, all of these rumors are swirling. He's snitching. He's doing this, he's doing it. And that is dangerous if you're one of the guys. It's dangerous. So anyway, he gets out of the hole. So they let him go to the yard. Now, the big yard. Now, the building that I live in, surrounded by a fence, all this and that. And all of them are surrounded by fences. But some of the guys were able to talk to him from the fence. Now, you can't really have an intimate conversation because everybody's out. So everybody's yelling back and forth. They say, what's going on, bro? What you doing, bro? This, bro. They heard that, bro. What's going on? He said, man, look here. Don't believe none of that. Don't believe none of that. So one of the guys just cut through the bull. He said, look here, bro. It don't look right. What you did don't look right. He said, what do you mean what I did? They let me out of the hole because they ain't nothing. But see, what he wasn't factoring in is that all the rumors had sunk in. Now, the ones that got things going on that might be in danger, now they talking. Look here, man. He's a threat. He's a threat. We can't have this. So they're plotting, strategizing. What do? Do we keep him close? You understand what I'm saying? Keep your enemies close. Do we keep him close, play it like ain't nothing really going on? Or do we shun him? And if we shun him, we run the risk that if he is telling it, he's going to tell on us. And that's how the mindset works in here. Don't nobody know if what they have put him in the hole for is true. But once those rumors started to swirl, it's true. It's true. And the story is not him. It's everybody else. It's everybody else. It exposed them for who they are. Because, you know, everybody is doing something. And they're doing something and they're worried about him telling them what they're doing. It's not that he's not straight because, you know, he's fat or he's tall or he's short or he's this or he's that. Is that he might have told something, but you don't know that he did, and you don't even know if the stuff that they said they locked him up for is true. You would think that because they let him out after 48 hours, that they found it to not be true. But experience tells us in here, in this environment, that may not be true either. Everything that they said about him could be true. And they let him out to get somebody. That's happened before. It's happened before. Or they let him out because they want him to make a mistake and they can nail him to the wall. Whatever it is, it has ripple effects across the compound. It has ripple effects in those circles where people are doing all sorts of things. It has ripple effects in organizations that are based on secrecy to make sure that their criminal operations continue to run. It makes a difference. Just like if somebody that was in the business got arrested out on the town and all of a sudden you see a larger police presence in the neighborhood that he's from, they would say what? He's telling it. They have no idea if he is or not, but because things change, it has to be true. He told it. They wouldn't be over here if he wouldn't be telling. And that's how twisted the mindset in the game is. That's how twisted it is. And don't think the police don't know that. They smart. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. Listen to me, man. You got to start to understand that in this lifestyle, there are risks. And if you are in this lifestyle and you're taking those risks, those things that come along with the game, what I just told you, that's part of it. That's part of it. And if you can't handle that, stay out of that. If you think that hurting him would solve a problem or cause him to be stressed out is going to solve the problem for you, you're still missing the point. The point is that you're doing something. And because of what he got involved in, because of what he got caught up in, now your life is thrown up in the air. No, that's not what you want. That shouldn't be what you want. You should want to be able to live a life that no matter what your neighbor's doing, that no matter what somebody, if you are involved in some other activity, you ain't got no business, whatever they're doing, it don't affect you. And if you can't be involved in something like that, you shouldn't be in it. Now, don't get me wrong. You can do stuff legally, and then what happens, you know what I'm saying, somebody do something and it affects you, meaning that like you work at a company and the CEO is embezzling money and all this and that, and it causes the company to shut down. Yeah, but you can move on. You don't lose your freedom. You don't lose your freedom in that. In this game, in the criminal game, you can lose your freedom, or you can lose what other little liberties that you do have if you're in prison. So why would you want to live that lifestyle? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I know a lot of you thought I was going to be down on the dude. I am. I'm down on the dude because he's stupid too. In the penitentiary, in the criminal game, you got to be fluent in stupid, y'all. Got to be fluent in stupid. And if you're involved in the criminal lifestyle, then you're working on your degree in stupidity. Period. You're working on your degree in stupidity. Because listen to me. Let me tell you something. Once upon a time, I was stupid like that. Stupid with a capital S. Stupid. And I would argue you up and down that what I'm doing is straight. I got this under control. I know what I'm talking about. No, I didn't. I wish somebody would have recorded me back then when I used to act like that so that I could use those tapes and let y'all hear how stupid I was. Because the game will make you believe that you have more sense than you do. And people that's not involved in that, they sit there listening to you talking like, man, what's wrong with this fool? He ain't got the sense God gave a peanut. But he thinks he does. We all thought that when we were in the game. Those of us that don't participate in it anymore. We thought we knew way more than we actually did. And that's what I'm talking about with this story here. With this story here, you know, we plan, plot, strategize, but we can't get it right every time. You can't. You're not going to be able to. It's just not possible. And that one time when they get it right, bend over and kiss your butt goodbye. It's just that, look, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. So you can even plan, plot, and strategize and say, I'm going to just do this for a small amount of time if you're out there. I'm talking to y'all brothers that's out there now and y'all sisters that's out there now. If you want to be involved in the game, you can think that I'm just going to do this for a little while so I can get ahead, get my bills caught up, this and that. Look here. If they catch you, the bills that you have is going to be the least of your worries. It's going to be the least of your worries. Because you're going to get arrested. You're going to go to jail. You're going to have to get a lawyer. You're going to have to post bond. And if you got kids at home, you're going to have to worry about the stress that you're putting them through, the trauma that you're putting them through. And then if you end up getting convicted of something, you're not going to be there to be able to help raise them and mold them into decent people. Why? Because you're not decent. So those bills that you got, figure out another way to take care of that. Get another job. Go back to school. Do something other than put your freedom at risk, putting your family at risk to get caught up on some bills or to live a certain lifestyle or to go to some concert or go to some sporting event. No, not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. So let me tell you what else happened with this guy. Let me tell you what else happened with him. Because the story just gets crazier and crazier. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's back out on the compound. And he has this heated conversation with some of his brothers. And they confront him. Something ain't right, man. Something ain't right. So now he goes back to the unit, and the next thing you hear, he can't come out of the unit for the next month. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. That is being done. He's doing that so he can avoid having to face what is being said because he can't figure out what to do. He can't figure out what to do. And I feel for him. I feel for him. Because once upon a time, I lived that lifestyle. And if you're involved in that lifestyle, I'm talking about gangster. If you're involved in that lifestyle, man, look, let me tell you something. It's a tight fight with a short pipe. It's a tight fight with a short pipe. And that leads me straight to something I wanted to talk about before I ended this show, because I'm about to end this show, y'all, because I've said all I can say about the situation. All I can tell you really is to leave that alone, man. Leave that life alone. Leave that life alone, because what somebody else do is going to affect you. And if you're living a lifestyle where what somebody else does can cause you to lose your freedom, that should be the biggest warning sign that says, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Stay away from that. It's not cool. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. But before I do, I want to say today is my birthday, y'all. Thank all of y'all out there, you know what I'm saying, in advance for the well wishes and things like that. I really appreciate it. I'm getting up there, y'all. You know what I mean? I know last year a lot of y'all wanted to send me money. If you want to send me money, you can still do that. We're going to put the information in the, just look at the bottom in the description box. You'll see the information on how you can do that. Also, you know what I'm saying, me and Boo, we got a book coming out called Rivals. So check that out. If you don't want to get the book and you want to send me something, the information will be there. But if you do want to get the book, just get the book. And I appreciate that, right? But more than that, I wanted to make sure that you understand that I really do think of y'all as family. I really appreciate the support. You have no idea how important you listening to my show and the feedback that I get. You have no idea what that means to me. No idea. I can't even put it into words. You know what I'm saying? How appreciative I am for the opportunity to do this and to have as many of you listening to my show as I do. I never would have imagined that. I never would have. I really wouldn't have, man. I really appreciate it. The show has exceeded my expectations up to this point. But I want to do more. I want to double and triple my numbers. I want to get six figures. I want to get six-figure numbers as far as my subscribers. So help me do that, y'all. Help me do that. Share it with as many of your friends and family, you know what I'm saying, as you can. And let today be the day that let's get up to 10,000 people. Let's try to get up to 10,000 people, you know what I'm saying, subscribe to the show. So tell everybody about the show. Tell everybody about the book. Tell everybody about what it is that we together are trying to do in spreading a message that the criminal lifestyle is not the way to go. The gang lifestyle is not the way to go. And I understand a lot of y'all might still be in it, and I get it, bro. And my sisters, I get it. But what I'm saying to you is that you deserve better. You're worth more than that. I don't want you to end up in a penitentiary like I have, being incarcerated for more. I've been in prison. Listen to me, y'all. Listen to when I say this. I've been in prison more years than I was ever on the streets. You understand that? I've spent more than half of my life in prison. And that's not what I want for any of you. So whatever you may be doing, you may think it's worth it. But what I'm telling you, it's not. It's not. It's not. But let's stay happy. Let's stay positive today. You know what I'm saying? Today is my birthday. And happy birthday to me. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to me. You know, these people in the pod hollering and all this and that, so I know y'all hear them. But that's okay. Nothing's going to throw us off today. We're happy. And everybody's doing well. I wish all of you out there well. And thank you for the well wishes. And go buy that book. It's at jtb3.org. And if you want to send me anything, we're going to leave that information in the you just look in the description box. You're going to see how you can do that, and you're going to see the link to where you can go to get the book as well, right? I really appreciate you. And this has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.